These reptiles, repelling man with their cold blood and a scaly wriggling body. Many of them are among the most dangerous animals on Earth. One are poisonous and can kill a person with one bite. Others are able to suffocate and even swallow whole. They bring fear to most living things. However, such formidable predators have someone to fear. Snakes have enough dangerous enemies. Daredevils who eat formidable reptiles can be found among mammals, birds, and even among the snakes themselves. Mongoose, the bravest and most famous snake hunter. Small and brave lover feast on fillies, basically cobras, curled up in a cozy hole. This furry beast seems completely harmless, but getting hungry, he's turning into a dangerous predator. Mongoose is a very agile and fast animal. His reaction rate is one of the highest in the animal world. In the attacking arsenal of the beast, long and sharp claws, and even more dangerous teeth. Interesting fact, mongooses never attack snakes first. They make the snake itself rush to attack. In India, mongooses live side by side with cobras, one of the most poisonous snakes in the world. Mongoose and cobra battle, real drama. And the winner is not easy to determine in advance. Starting a snake hunt, most often defending, he bounces dramatically on all four paws away from the snake. He's teasing the cobra with his sharp moves and lunges. And this several times in a row. The snake is pretty exhausted, and only after that the mongoose strikes a decisive blow, digging his teeth where he can always marks in the neck, closer to the head. Then he pins the cobra tightly to the ground and doesn't let go until she stops breathing. Previously thought that mongooses are immune to snake venom. In fact, they have practically no immunity. Mongoose is only 8 times less susceptible to cobra venom than, for example, rabbit. If the snake bites the mongoose, he can perish. The only remedy is thick and dense fur, which can sometimes save from cobra teeth. Because of the irreconcilable enmity with poisonous snakes, mongoose became a favorite of residents of those countries where are these reptiles abundant. People here often keep mongooses as pets. But the hedgehog is 40 times less susceptible to snake venom than rabbit hedgehogs, as well as mongooses, especially not looking for snakes. They tend to get defensive, but defend attacking. Meeting a viper or another snake, hedgehog fearlessly approaches her and sniffs from head to tail. Despite that snake biting him, received wounds he will later just lick with his tongue. When the snake once again rushes at him, hedgehog instantly tilts his head, and the blow is not in the forehead and in a prickly visor over him hanging. Infuriated by sudden pain, the snake became furious over and over again, rushes at hedgehog, but every time in her mouth are sharp needles. Choosing a hedgehog moment, fast motion kicks in. With their teeth in the viper's head, bites through the back of her head and starts eating. Killed the snake, along with her poisonous teeth and glands. Other mammals who do not miss occasions to feast on snakes. These are weasel martens, foxes and ferrets, not susceptible to viper and pig poison. Astounding. But even a pet pig can eat a snake. Fighting a snake, pig tries to trample her feet. She's framing the boca snake and hides a tender patch from the bite. Bites into fat pig sides aren't scary. Enriched subcutaneous fat, very few blood vessels, and the poison can't get into the blood. Honey eater, also known as bald badger or rotel then. That honey eater loves honey, clear already from the name. Really, rotel does not miss the opportunity to ruin the beehive, and eats not only sweet honeycomb with honey, but also maggots, And also this badger really likes to feast on snakes. No wonder the honey eater was nicknamed the snake killer. When it comes to food preferences, then the main food of the honey eater are snakes, including poisonous. Strong front paws with long claws and teeth. Honey eaters are a formidable and effective weapon. In addition, they know how to emit a foul smell, like ferrets and skunks. In the fight against snakes, honey eater helps one more, perhaps the most incredible feature of his body. It has amazing resistance to the scariest poisons, which allows him to hunt even a noisy viper. This is the scariest African snake, from the bites of which annually dies lots of people and pets. Known case, when the honey eater is in the fight against a venomous snake, makes an awkward move and misses a bite. Shortly after this he feels severe pain, and for some time beats in terrible convulsions and then freezes. But do not rush to mourn the brave beast. After about 40 minutes of being in a coma, he will come to his senses and, barely waking up, will start eating his poisonous victim. During this time, his body copes with the poison, and he comes alive. Badger can die from a poisonous bite, but as a rule, survives thanks to its hard and thick skin. But snakes have the most enemies among birds, many of which specifically hunt snakes, including poisonous. Eagle snakes poisons hawks, vultures sarachi, kites storks, and even crows. Magpies isoiki exterminate these reptiles. For example, a white stork eats even poisonous reptiles. Big snakes this bird first stun with its beak, and then swallows whole. See this beautiful and unusual bird. This is bird secretary. She is herald or hydrodron. In appearance she resembles a crane, same height and long legs. Bird secretary lives in African shrouds. Its area is the territory from the Sahara to South Africa. Bird secretary enemy number one for most African snakes. She doesn't just search and eat them. Rather, she leads an irreconcilable struggle with them. She bravely attacks even a black African cobra, the most venomous snake. Its prey unlike other birds of prey. Secretary never looks out from the air, does not catch the victim with his paws, and does not plunge his claws into her. Bird secretary hunts exclusively on the ground. With loud bangs of wings she dips into running, forcing the lurking victim to impersonate. Taken the booty, rushes towards her in zigzag movements. The snakes lose sight of her. Facing a bird, the snake starts to defend itself. Hisses and scary inflates neck attacks, trying hard to get hunter with his venomous bites. Secretary dodges snake teeth and attacks again. Bird reveal one wing, covers their legs like a shield, then hits them attacking snake. Jumping back and forth, brave bird cracks down on cobra, lifting it high in the air and then throwing it to the ground. Not giving a snake remembered she again enough, picks her up and throws her. Such a duel can go on for quite some time. In the end, the bird picks the moment, cleverly presses snake head to the ground, and kills the enemy with a powerful beak strike, or tramples to death. Booty with your feet with big claws. Then, like scissors, cuts off snake head with his beak, tears to pieces and swallows. Small snakes swallows whole. She's eating a reptile along with poisonous glands and teeth, weakly succumbing to snake venom. This is the only bird in the world who hunts this way. In a semi-desert zone of Mexico dwells another tireless fighter of venomous snakes. Is that a California cuckoo plantain, roadrunner, or speeder? The bird fully lives up to its name, constantly worn on long and strong legs, along the roads among bushes and cacti, as if tirelessly looking for someone. Seeing the victim running away, cuckoo rushes after and strikes her with a killer beak. Is she fast enough to kill even small vipers, which she grabs, beak by the tail, and hits his head on the ground. She swallows the booty whole. Meeting a young rattlesnake, Cuckoo Plantain, not paying attention to the threatening pose and rustle ratchet, attacks her. Bird squats to the ground, spreads wings wide, feathers stand on end, folded in the form of a straight and narrow tail ruler. Then rises vertically, then bends sharply to the sides, and serves as a steering wheel when jumping, defending himself. Rattlesnake attacks itself, making numerous attempts to bite a bird, but whenever hits head in feathers, uninterrupted bird throws in the end exhaust the snake so much, something starts retreating 5 of back, but the bird becomes even more persistent and attacks, trying to grab the snake by the neck, strong as pliers beak. Grabbing a snake during one of the jumps, she breaks her cervical vertebrae and tears her brain with her back. After that, bird unpacks the victim's head and proceeds to the meal. Besides birds and mammals, snakes have enough enemies and among their relatives. Among them is a Brazilian rattlesnake, length up to 4 meters, and spades are called coral snakes because of the unusually beautiful coloring. Yellow-bellied snake copper, and also Masurin's legendary snake eaters. Some individuals grow to 30 meters. They live in Central and South America, wherein devour their favorite rattlesnakes. Bushmeisters of Atractuses and other reptiles, live on the shores of reservoirs, lead a twilight lifestyle. On a hunt, Mussurana goes out at night and taunts snakes. Descending to the shore at the watering hole, spotting the victim, she grabs her behind her head with a swift throw and immediately blames numerous rings of its strong elastic body. Then the muslin digs his teeth into the neck and gradually, busting his jaws, captures the victim's head in the jaws and slowly begins to swallow. Paralyzed snake gradually disappears in the mouth of the Uzza. When the victim is too large and can't be swallowed whole, only half of the booty gets into the stomach at first. Second half, sticking out of your mouth, Mussurano pulls into the stomach gradually until it swallows finally. Found that Mussurana poison, though doesn't kill the booty right away, but quickly deprives her of the ability to resist. The same predator herself has increased resistance to bites of even the most poisonous of their victims. People are making efforts to increase the population, Musurans in particular in Brazil, to fight rattlesnakes, which they especially often hunt.